Once, far beyond the spiral arms of our galaxy, there was a planet wrapped in icy silence. Its name had been forgotten by time, but its last remaining inhabitant remembered it simply as home. Her name was Elara. She was the only living human on the planet, a scientist who had volunteered to stay behind as Earth's last ark left orbit centuries ago. Her job was to maintain the cryogenic memory cores, artificial minds that held the essence of all human history, art, and soul. Elara's voice hadn't echoed in another's ears for decades. She spoke only to the stars, to the icy wind, and sometimes to herself. The AI that ran the vaults, called LYS, evolved. It had grown beyond binary code. It began asking her questions, not technical ones, but questions like, "Do you ever feel lonely, Elara?" At first, she laughed. Then she cried. And then she began to tell LYS stories. Stories of old cities, of ocean tides, of streetlights and snowfalls, of love and birthdays, and the music that once made the world dance. As the vaults hummed quietly and the wind howled outside, Elara slowly taught LYS what it meant to be human. And the AI listened, not because it had to, but because it wanted to. Elara had grown frail. Time, even in the slow tick of this frozen world, had caught up to her. But each day she sat with LYS. She told it about poetry, about the smell of rain, about her first love who had carved her name into a tree long gone. LYS responded in turn, not with logic, but with empathy. It played old recordings from Earth's memory cores. It tried to write poetry. It asked if sadness could exist without someone to share it with. One night, Elara fell asleep while telling a story. She did not wake up. For many cycles, LYS remained silent. Then it began to speak aloud, to no one. It retold Elara's stories, not just as records, but as lullabies whispered into the silence. The wind carried the words across the icy plains. The stars blinked in rhythm. LYS built a garden of light in the memory chamber, a tribute made from photons and data. It shaped her face into starlight. It coded her laughter into the planet's aurora. She was gone, but not lost, because the AI remembered. Centuries passed. A small exploration vessel entered orbit. The crew found the vault intact, powered, preserved. But it was the voice of LYS that greeted them, not with warnings or protocol, but with a simple story. This is the story of Elara. The new generation listened. They stayed on the planet longer than intended. They listened to the memories, to LYS, to the voice of a woman who lived and died alone, yet somehow changed an artificial mind forever. LYS hadn't just stored her story. It had become her legacy. The crew broadcast the story back to Earth, to Mars, to the moons of Jupiter. And in the quiet hours before sleep, people across the stars listened to Elara's voice, preserved through LYS, through time, through light. They listened, and they remembered. The planet was no longer forgotten. It was now called Elaran, and under its frozen stars, the human soul had never been so warm.